Every night, founders go home tired, and strangely, that tiredness gives them peace because somewhere inside it whispers, I gave everything to my business today. You sleep believing today was an important day. It mattered. But what if your tiredness is lying to you? What if all that energy was not taking you to your dream business? It was simply helping today's business survive one more day. And that's a dangerous illusion because surviving today and building a business that can scale tomorrow are not the same thing. Welcome to the Missing Lens brought to you by MSME Success Headquarters, and I'm Ganika bringing you the CEO Advisory Lens. In this series, we don't talk about business tips or growth hacks. We decode how large organizations think about scaling, and more importantly, the assumptions MSME founders unknowingly carry that keep them working harder without necessarily building a business that grows bigger. Because if you look around the world, large organizations enter new cities, new countries, new market and continue to grow. Their growth compounds. Yet thousands of MSMEs spend years working harder than ever and still struggle to reach their dream business. The question is not whether you're busy. The question is, at the end of today's busyness, which business became stronger? The business you are running today or the business you once dreamed of building? Because they are not always the same. And that's today's missing lens, the cost of being busy. Let me ask you something. Do you remember the business you imagined when you first started? Not the business you run today, the one you dreamed about. Maybe you are a doctor. When you started your practice, you did not dream of spending your life running a two-room clinic. You imagined building a multi specialty hospital. Years later, yes, you have shifted to a better building. You have more patients, a better reception, more staff. From the outside, it looks like a growth or progress. But are you actually any closer to building that hospital, or have you simply become better at running the clinic? The clinic survived, the hospital never got built. Let's take another example. You are in furniture exports. You once imagined your products reaching Europe, Australia, Middle East, becoming a globally recognized Indian brand. Years have passed now. You're still working incredibly hard, but 80% of your business still comes from the same three or four buyers in the US. So let me ask you, have you been expanding your business or simply expanding the effort required to sustain the business you already have? The US customers stayed and export business survived. The global business never got built. Let's take an example that you are a web service company. Your vision was not just to build websites. You wanted to create a platform where business could get every digital solution in one place. Today, your day is spent in delivering projects, following up on payment, learning the latest AI tools, wondering whether you should pivot or continue. You are adapting to every change in technology, but are you building the platform you once envisioned, or simply staying relevant in the business you already have? See, the project survived, that platform never got built. Different industries, different businesses, but the same question. When did your dream quietly get replaced by your daily routine? Because that's what nobody notices. You don't give up on the dream in one decision, you slowly trade it for one urgent day at a time. And survival kept succeeding, the dream kept getting postponed. So let me ask you another question. If I remove the last 3 years of your hard work, would the business you have today look very different? Or would it simply be slightly bigger version of the same business? Now here is what fascinates me. None of the founders are lazy, none of them lack ambition, none of them stopped working. In fact, they are probably working harder today than they were 5 years ago. So why does the business they dreamed about still feel so far away? Because we have unknowingly accepted one assumption. If I'm busy every day, my business must be moving forward. But let me ask you something. Busy building what? The business you dream about or the business that needs to survive this month? Those are not the same business. One demands your attention, the other demands your intention. And here is the problem: the business that screams the loudest usually wins without you even realizing it. I call this the treadmill effect. Let me explain. Treadmill effect beautifully illustrates something about progress. When you're on a treadmill, you can clearly measure one thing: how much effort you have put in. You know how long you ran, you know your speed, you know your calories, your heart rate. Everything measures your effort. But none of those numbers tell you whether you have reached a destination, because treadmill was never designed to take you somewhere. It was designed to help you keep running. See, the treadmill, its purpose is different. Now, why do I call this treadmill effect? Because a treadmill has only one job: to keep you running, not to take you anywhere. And that's what quietly happens inside many businesses. Every day keeps you running, but nobody stops to ask, running toward what? Think about it. Every day gives you proof that you have worked so hard. Sales meeting, customer calls, production review, team discussion, payments, quotation, everything. Every evening you can point to everything you did. So you naturally feel today was a good day. But here is the missing lens. All of those things measure how much you worked. They don't automatically measure whether your business become more capable of reaching the future you imagined. Now you know what the treadmill effect is. The next question is, if founder can see it, why don't they simply stop? Because getting off the treadmill is not a business decision. It is an emotional one. I call it founder survival wiring. When you started your business, you did not have any departments, you did not have managers, you did not have processes. You had yourself. Every customer won because of you. Every crisis was handled by you. Every payment recovered because you followed up. Every employee looked at you for answers. And every time you stepped in, your business survived. Your brain noticed something. Not once, not twice, hundreds of times. It learned a simple survival pattern: when there is a threat, I step in. When I step in, the business survives. Again, again, and again. After years of repeating this, your brain stopped treating it as a decision. It became your identity. Not I own the business, but I keep this business alive. And the very wiring that helped you build the business is now shaping how you continue to run it. That's founder survival wiring. Now, here is where it becomes dangerous. Today, your business is no longer the business you started. You have grown, you have more people, more customers, more revenue, but your brain is still protecting the business. And if it is the tiny company you started years ago, a customer complaint comes in, before anyone else you think, you jump in. An employee make a mistake, you feel you should handle it. A decision is delayed. At first, you tell yourself, I will let them handle. And we genuinely mean it until the customer follow up twice. The deadline starts slipping in. The quality is not quite there. You stop feeling confident it's under control. And suddenly, without even discussing it, we are back in the middle of it. Not because we wanted to, not because we don't trust our people, but after years of building the business, your brain has learned one thing: if something important is at stake, don't wait, step in. We don't take work back because we enjoy doing it. We take it back because we can't afford what might happen if it goes wrong. And after doing this hundreds of times, the brain stops seeing it as a choice. It starts seeing it as a responsibility, because founder don't identify as control freak. They identify themselves as responsible. Employees are responsible for completing the task. Founder feel responsible for everything that happen if that task doesn't go right. The customer, the payment, the reputation, the relationship. That's why the founder steps in. See, employee owns the task, founder carries the consequence. After living through those consequences, lost client, delayed payment, damaged credibility, the brain quietly concludes, when the stakes are high, don't leave it to chance. That's what founder survival wiring is. It's not about distrust, it's about a subconscious belief that your intervention is the safest insurance policy the business has. Somewhere inside, you have probably told yourself, I know my team is trying, but if the customer leaves, they move on to the next salary. I live with the consequences. Do you see what happened? The business evolved, the wiring did not. And that's why founders don't accidentally become operational. They become emotionally responsible for everything. Every intervention feels justified. Every rescue feels necessary. Every problem whispers the same sentence. If not you, who? And because that voice has protected your business for years, you trust it without questioning it. And see, every founder wants to protect the business. The question is, are you protecting today's business or building tomorrow's business? Because if the business still depend on the same rescue instinct year after year, maybe the business is not becoming stronger. Maybe you are becoming better at protecting its weakness. And that's where founder unknowingly change the scorecard they use every day. Without realizing it, they stop measuring, is my business becoming stronger, and start measuring, did I protect it today? This is where large organizations think differently. Not because their leaders care less, they are very passionate about their business also, but they are constantly reminded of one thing. Every day should move the business closer to where it wants to be. That's a very different scorecard. A founder often ends the day asking, did we solve today's problem? A CEO ends the day asking, after solving today's problem, did we move any closer to the business we are trying to build? Those are not the same question. One measures today's survival, the other measures tomorrow's progress. And the scorecard you use determine the decision you make. See, here is the interesting part. Your brain does not hear those two questions the same way. The conscious mind says, I'm just being responsible. But underneath that, the brain is saying something else. If I don't step in, the business is not safe. That's a very different belief. One is about doing your duty, the other is about carrying the weight of business on your shoulders, and that changes everything. Because founder survival wiring is not really about loving your work. It's about a brain that has spent years protecting something deeply personal. Your business is not just a company anymore. To your brain, it is something you have kept alive through hundreds of difficult moments, which is why stepping back does not simply feel uncomfortable. It feels risky. Founder often measure how hard they work today. CEO measures how much closer the business got to its future today. Notice what changed. I'm no longer saying you solve customer issues. I'm saying your brain built a survival algorithm. Threat appears, founder intervenes. Business survives. Brain stores patterns. Repeat hundred of times, identity is formed. So founder survival wiring is a psychological mechanism. If I have to explain it, it is founder survival wiring is the subconscious belief that your personal intervention is what keeps the business alive, a belief formed during the survival stage of the business, but one that quietly follows the founder long after the business has outgrown it. You can pause it and read this statement again. So now you know something most founders never stop to think about. The treadmill will be there tomorrow. Founder survival wiring will still whisper, just solve this first. The business needs you. This can't wait. And you will probably listen, just like you did yesterday and the day before, because that's how you have kept your business alive. But today, I want you to calculate something you have probably never measured, the cost of being busy. Not the cost of hiring, not the cost of marketing, the cost of staying busy. So, what is the real cost of being busy? It is probably not what you are thinking. The cost is not your stress. It is definitely not the long hours. It is not even your health. The biggest cost is the dream you started your business with. Remember the doctor we spoke about? He did not dream of spending 20 years becoming better at running a clinic. He dreamed about building a multi specialty hospital. The clinic survived, but the hospital never got built. That was the cost of being busy. Remember the furniture exporter? The dream was not to become indispensable to four loyal customers in the US. The dream was to build a global brand. His existing customers survived. The global brand never got built. That was the cost of being busy. And the web services entrepreneur, the dream was not to spend every year reacting to the next technology shift. Dream was to build the platform businesses would depend upon. His projects got delivered, but that platform never got built. That was the cost of being busy. Do you see the patterns? Busyness does not usually destroy a business, it quietly replaces the dream that started it. One urgent day at a time, one justified decision at a time, one more year at a time. Until one day you wake up running a business that survives instead of the business you once imagined creating. And that's the real cost of being busy. It does not steal your effort, it steals the future you started building the business for. If you have spent the last 5 years solving problem every single day, what did you not build? If you have attended thousands of operational discussion, what strategic conversations never happened? If you made every important decision yourself, what capabilities never got built inside your business? If every day was spent protecting today's business, who has been building the business you wanted to own 10 years from now? That is the cost. The cost of being busy is not exhaustion. It is a business that never got built, the system that never got created, the leaders who never got developed, the market you never entered, the opportunities that quietly expired while you were winning today's battles. And here is the hardest part: you will never see those losses on your profit and loss report. You will never receive any invoice that says, because you were busy for last 7 years, your business never became what it could have been. Life does not send that bill. It simply lets time pass until one day you look at your business and wonder, why does the dream I started with still feel so far away? Maybe the dream was not impossible. Maybe business was more expensive than you ever realized. So, if today's missing lens made you uncomfortable, good. Because awareness is the first step to break this founder survival wiring. But awareness alone does not change years of conditioning. Because tomorrow morning, the customer will still call, the employee will still ask, urgent issue will still appear, and your brain will quietly pull you back into the same treadmill. That is why Founder Reset exists. Not to teach you how to work harder, not to give you another productivity hack, but to help you recognize these patterns that have silently shaped your business for years, so you can stop paying the hidden cost of being busy. Because the cost is not just your time, it is the business you never got to build, the dream that quietly got postponed, one urgent day at a time. If you are ready to stop surviving the business you have and start intentionally building the business you originally set out to create, Founder Reset is where that journey begins. 1 year from today, will your business simply be 1 year older or 1 year closer to the dream that made you started? The answer won't be decided next year. It will be decided by what you choose to change today. So I will see you inside Founder Reset.